So this here is part 3. If you've not watched part 1, please do. If you've not watched part 2, please do. This is part 3 of your ego status or your pride can stop your spirit God placed in you, the spirit God put in you from having higher encounters. And from part 2, at the end of part 2, I was saying something. It doesn't matter what position you occupy. It doesn't matter how famous you are, what position you occupy. It doesn't matter what area of career you are in. If you have not been intentional if you have not become intentional of dealing with your trauma, the trauma is still going to be there, staring at you. You can be a man of God. If you came through a difficult childhood, your upbringing, your raising, your earlier stages in your life, if you went through traumatic stuff, you have to be intentional of healing your trauma. Otherwise, that trauma is going to manifest itself in another way. I'm telling you, a lot of people are not aware of this. Because a lot of people were told, oh, you go to school, come out of school, get a job, start a family, without dealing with the trauma. It doesn't matter what position you occupy. It doesn't matter how famous you are. It doesn't matter how rich you are. If you came from a difficult childhood, you came from a toxic home, you have to flush that trauma out of you, because it has a way of manifesting itself. Another thing I've realized closely here on this continent is that a lot of the children are not raised with love. So the only thing these children are exposed to right from childhood is all that, the maltreatment, the beating, the hungry days, the days without food, and all of this. So, and all of these things harden the hearts of these people. They harden the heart of the children. So I've said in part 2 that when you take 10 people walking on the streets, anywhere, 10 people gathered anywhere, you can count up to 6 or even 7 of them whose hearts are hardened, not as a result of their doing, but as a result of where they grew up, how they were raised. Some of them in generational trauma, some were touched when they were kids, certain things happened, some were betrayed. I'm telling you, even the level of betrayal in a relationship can make somebody become a hardened-hearted person. I'm telling you, I will not feel anything for the opposite sex anymore. And they become, as a result of that relationship that went south, they can have some natural hatred for the opposite sex wherever they meet them, in business, in corporate, in wherever they meet them. I'm telling you, there are a lot of people sitting with trauma. And that trauma is destroying the society. I'm telling you. So if she's a judge, she is a judge, female judge in the court, and she was treated a certain way by men, when a similar case comes to her, you are sure this guy is going to go down. I'm telling you. A lot of things are happening. And trauma is how the devil destroys society. Trauma is how the devil destroys community. Trauma is how the devil destroys the family structure that God in his wisdom put together. Because the family, that nuclear family, father, mother, and children, is a basic building block of every society you are seeing. So if you are getting it wrong in the area of the family, it means the whole structure on which the society is sitting and standing on is collapsed, is rotten. This is what is going on. And a lot of people have not paid attention to it. So I'm telling you here, today, the 7th of January, 2025, I'm telling you, deal with the trauma of your past. Some of you is relationship. Some of you is how people betrayed you. Some of you is how you were raised in your family, because they believe in raising people in a certain way. They believe in raising a child without love. When you raise a child without love, you are creating a narcissist for the society. When that child becomes a president tomorrow, the whole country is going to be up in flames, because you decided to raise a narcissist. You decided to raise a child without love. And this is what's going on. If you decide to touch a young girl You are destroying, when she becomes a mother, that problem, the issue is going to continue. Because a lot of these things, that trauma itself, it opens people up for the enemy to take over and use for his kingdom. I've said it in some of my videos. A lot of children are not being raised with love in this continent. And if you look at a lot of places where black people are, we don't understand that concept. I'm not saying pampering them so that they'll be fooling around. No. When they do something that is commendable, let them know. Let them know that. And let them know discipline also. So that they know that when you do bad things attract some kind of painful thing. So it helps guide them. A lot of you see, look close. From America to the Caribbean to Africa, the children are not being raised with love. We are not intentional. And somehow, a lot of the parents, not all of them, a lot of the parents want to project their trauma on the next generation. You're seeing it. I'm telling you. I came across a video of a certain lady who said she wanted to build a house. She's a South African. She went to her hometown. She wanted to build a house. And she told her mother she was going to build it. And the mother said she will not be able to finish. I was shocked. I said, what is this? Her own mother told her she will not be able to finish. What is wrong? What is wrong? Why can't her mother encourage her? Even if from where you sit, you realize she should not be able to finish. Just learn how to speak words that bring life. Words of encouragement. You are older than her. Maybe you have been trying your whole life. You couldn't do it. Your daughter came to you for a reason. And she says, I'm going to build a house. Her mother told her she can't build it. But she has completed the house. You know? And we are seeing a lot of this. And a lot of that spirit, that attitude, you know, we see it a lot in the black community. When an elderly person is not able to do something, I don't know what program asks that if an elderly person tries something and he fails or was not able to accomplish that thing, then any person younger should not be able to accomplish it. Where did we learn that from? Where did we learn? Where did that thing come from? It is evil and demonic. I'm telling you. Her own mother told her she could not finish the house. But she has finished the house. And she's building a house so that her mother can get a place to stay. You get it? She's building a house so that her mother can get a suitable and nice place to stay. Her mother told her she cannot build a house. Even if she's going to fail, just learn to speak words of encouragement. And that's what we're seeing here on the continent. People fail at point X. And instead of sharing their experiences, what they did wrong, which contributed to them failing in point X, they will never tell you, because they will never tell you what contributed to their failure in point X so that you can jump over it. This is a problem. This is a problem on the continent. You know, sometimes I don't want to talk too much about the African race, the black people. I don't want to talk about it so much. And you see, because parent A refused to explain and be open to why they failed to cross point X, their child will also come. And because they refused, not that they didn't know, they know what they did, they knew what happened, they know what contributed, because they refused to reveal why they failed at point X, that child also comes to fall into it. And the tradition continues. So you realize that one problem, or more than 10 generations, are still struggling to solve one piece of problem which could have been solved if somebody had been open enough. Yes, you are old and you cannot do that thing now. Now share the secrets, share why you couldn't cross this point, so that the next generation, which automatically should be better than you because they have been watching you. That is it. Anybody that comes after you is designed to be better than you. iPhone 16 is better than an iPhone 15, is better than an iPhone 13, is better than an iPhone 14. This is how life is. This is part 3. I'm going to come with part 4.